Okay, our game day verse for week 2 is Genesis 3:7, and it says, "After they ate the fruit, their eyes were opened, and they felt ashamed, and they realized they were naked."
In 1 year in Philadelphia, there were 331 murders, 880 rapes, 6,401 auto thefts, 7,984 robberies, 8,658 assaults, 12,004 burglaries. There's 38,592 thefts. There were more than 40,000 vacant properties, and yet there were 12,053 individuals that experienced homelessness. These problems, they're not limited to Philadelphia and other big cities, but they take on various forms in small towns throughout the United States and in the world. These issues point to a brokenness in our society. That brokenness, we call it sin, and has its roots in Genesis 3, which we'll now look at.
Okay, this week we're talking about the fall. And what that is I want to break it down in a few different categories, but the story kind of builds off last week where everything was good. God created things. So in this week, number 1, we're talking about creation. Creation, when God made everything, He said it was good. And when He created everything, we had a right relationship with God and with each other and with the created order. And so in order to understand the power of the fall, we have to understand that creation, first and foremost, God's original intentions was that we would be good. Number 2, the tree. Now, Adam and Eve lived in the Garden of Eden, and there was only one tree that they weren't allowed to eat from. God said, if you eat from this tree, you will die. But to see, the thing is, people think, well, why did He put a tree there? Why would He tempt them? But in reality, you see, they had a vast freedom. In reality, there was a lot of freedom in following Christ and following God, but there was only one restriction for them. And in that, I believe the reason He did it is because He didn't create robots, right? God created us with a free will, and it's in that free will that He wants us to lovingly love Him. And so that's why I think they had the tree in that situation. Number 3, the snake. Now, in the garden, in the tree, there was a snake. Now, the snake was a physical representation of Satan. And the thing about the snake is he enticed Adam and Eve. And the thing is, he said, did God really say you're not allowed to eat any fruit from the whole garden? And the thing is, and that's the thing about Satan, is he's the father of lies. And a lot of times it seems like a good thing at first, but then what happens is he builds lies and lies. And that's what happened here. And Eve, she had a dilemma, all right? On the one hand, Satan said, if you eat the fruit, you'll be like God. God said, you eat the fruit, you'll die. And then she looked at the fruit, and the fruit looked good. And that's the thing about sin, is sin looks so good on the surface. And she took a bite, and Adam was right there. It wasn't just Eve's fault. Adam and Eve both together ate that fruit, and they fell, and the sin was broken. And it led to a separation between God and His people, and also began a separation between people and even people with their creation. And so part of it is we got to be a people that understand the lies that are out there, because part of the fall is that we're separated from God, and it's not until we understand these lies that we can begin embracing Him. Number 4. Don't blame the snake. Now, I live by this motto: for the way I am, shame on my parents. If I'm this way in the future, shame on me. And see, basically what it is there's things that happen in our lives and we want to blame it. Eve, she was able to say, oh, well, it was the snake that made me do it. Adam, he was like, Eve made me do it. And it's always, people always want to shift the blame when they have their own brokenness or their own sin. For the way I am, shame on my parents. If I'm this way in the future, shame on me. Now, our circumstances, where we grew up, whatever happened to us, we can't change that necessarily. But the thing is we have to be adults. We have to grow up and gain the responsibility to take our lives in our own hands and give it to Jesus. We have to be the ones that say, you know what, I'm going to stop living in a negative way, in a broken way. I'm going to allow Jesus to begin taking my lives. This is a lesson that we learned from the garden. 5, they were blind, and it says they also noticed they were naked. Now here's the thing about Adam and Eve. Before they ate the apple, they felt no shame. Everything was cool between them and God. But what happened, as soon as they ate that apple, they felt shame. Now the thing is, today, things are different. Because people are eating the apple, but they feel no shame at all. And that's why Jesus came, is He came to help those who are blind to see. And that's what happens. And our prayer is that we will be able to see the sin that we're doing and the brokenness that we're a part of. Because it's only in seeing our need for Jesus that we'll be able to embrace Jesus and take that. And that's what we hope for this week, is that you are able to realize our need for Jesus. God bless you.